it was easy.
Yeah. Now, you've played with other popular Motown groups, one being Denise Williams. I think we're going to roll into a clip now of you on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson,
yes.
Playing with Denise. Tell us about your role with Denise.
Very talented young singer. And Denise has had several hit records. Her current album, featuring her hit single from the movie Footloose, is called Let's Hear It for the Boy. It'll be out May 21st. Would you welcome Denise Williams? Denise?
That's great. And there you are with red shoes on.
That's me with red shoes, and that's Jeff Baxter from the Doobie Brothers to my left.
And Steely Dan. Yeah. Great man. Legend in guitar.
Absolutely.
And what was your role? You were her musical director?
Yeah, I had actually played on a couple of her albums before that. I was working with a producer named Tom Bell, who's very famous, The Sound of Philadelphia, the Stylistics hits, the Spinners hits.
Sure.
And he was producing Denise Williams, so I had an opportunity to play on 2 of her albums, and during that time, she was going to be doing some traveling, and she asked me if I'd like to be part of that band as her musical director, and would I put together a band for her. So I did, and I stayed with Denise about, I want to think it was 1.5 years or 2 years or so, also doing albums in between, because I also co-produced one of her albums with her. So when The Tonight Show came up, we put the band together for that, and I had a chance to bring together a lot of my friends and people that I admired, and one of those people, as you probably saw on the tape, was Jeff Baxter, at the time of the Doobie Brothers, and also played with Steely Dan, a wonderful player, and a lot of other great musicians.
Sure. Let's talk about something go down another avenue. I notice you're playing a Benedetto guitar today, which is quite a difference from you were an endorser of the Kawai, the red guitar, which was on the clip earlier. Tell me a little bit about your relationship with Bob and so forth.
Well, first of all, I had heard about Bob Benedetto through reading magazines and, you know, seeing that he had the book out, How to Build an Archtop Guitar, and I knew he was a fine builder. And we actually lived fairly close to each other at the time that I was reading these things and didn't realize it. And I had an interest in acquiring an Archtop guitar, so I called him up, and he graciously invited me to his home. And this was about early 1995, and I went out to his home and had the opportunity to meet with Bob and his wife, Cindy. And we just hit it off right away. I had a chance to play a couple of his guitars, and it was great. It was just a real nice visit. I also brought a few pictures and showed them a little bit about my career, and we had some nice conversations about that. And that was just a very nice visit. I didn't order a guitar that day. It led to that, though, and Cindy, his wife, if you know Cindy, she's a great marketer. She took an interest in me and my background, and one thing led to another. Bob and Cindy, along with my wife and myself, became great friends, and I also had the opportunity to order a guitar from Bob, and really, this is probably the finest guitar I've ever had in my life. It's made out of all European cello woods, carved spruce top.
You've had some beautiful guitars.
Yeah.
I read your article in Vintage Guitar Magazine, which is a 2- or 3-page article, and it talks about the guitars you've had. Speaking about Bob Benedetto, I solicited some nice things from some people that know you. As part of the show, I do this. To Bill. Bill is a unique player with a great rock feel. He is the godfather. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong one. Excuse me. To Bill. This is the correct one. Boy, live TV.
Live television.
Bill was a high school kid who knew exactly what he wanted to do, and he did it. His versatility is unsurpassed, and his good nature an enviable attribute as well. An extremely modest master of the guitar, Bob Benedetto.
Oh, isn't that nice?
And I guess you know who the other one's from by now.
I'll tell you.
Bill is a unique player with a great rock feel. He is the godfather of my son and one of my favorite people. I have always followed Bill's career ever since the days at Henry's Club. We always kept in touch and would buy each other the same identical gifts without knowing. and he told me, he elaborated on that, but that's by Rudy Tricoli.
Oh, Rudy, one of the greats, one of the great guitar players around.
Yeah,
he's one of the best.
Very highly of you. We're going to go to a commercial, and when we come back, we're going to pick up with your career with the Gong Show. And also, I want you to play me snippets of some of the Temptations and so forth. So do me a favor, play a couple of the very popular songs you played with the Temptations.
Well, obviously, you did a fine job with My Girl, where there was a lot of guitar intros in there, but Just My Imagination. They all started with guitar intros. If you remember, I'm Losing You, the Temptations did it, Rod Stewart. Other ones start with a bass intro, kind of bass guitar. Papa Was a Rolling Stone. You know, and on and on and on.
Yeah.
All those songs started with guitar intros, and I think that's what it was easy for the year. So back in the AM radio days, when people would hear a guitar intro like My Girl, you know, or Smokey Robinson like Tracks of My Tears. They knew what they were going to hear, and they kept, and that's what made those songs. I think it gave them a great opportunity to become hit records.
It became actually really, I'm not overestimating this, part of the society. It really did.